90-200, which I think was the best you could ask for on that sort of wicket. And then we would have had a fighting chance, but obviously 116 far too little.
What do you think you learned from today's game?
Well, I mean, it's it's very hard to say what you learn from a game like that when you get bowled out for 116. I mean, it was a juicy dick, and they got the ball in the right area and made us struggle. And obviously, the way they finished it was very professional. When it's going your way, we dropped another few half chances, and I dropped one off a no ball. But I suppose that's the way it goes. We just got to keep working hard and trying to do the right things, trying to learn from what the Aussies do, and hopefully it'll turn around for us just now.
You've learned that you've lost the series now. The third and final game being here tomorrow. It's still an opportunity for you to win one of the games.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the series has gone, obviously, but it's another one-day international, and we're going to go out there and try and turn around, try and salvage something from this Australian tour.
Alistair, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much, David.
Alistair Campbell, the losing captain from Zimbabwe. Now I'd like to introduce the winning captain, Steve Waugh from Australia. Steve, you made the point this morning that winning's a habit.
Yeah, it sure is, and I thought we played really well today. The opening bowling was great. Damien Fleming, tremendous spell, one of the best I've seen in one-day cricket, so it really set us up for a good victory.
It's very hard for players outside this team to get into the side, particularly when you are winning and on this role that you spoke about.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, international cricket. If you get the chance to play for Australia, hopefully you can make the most of it. So it is hard for guys on the outside to get a game. That's unfortunate, but it's good that we're winning.
What about a pitch like that, Steve? Regardless of the result now, the fact that you are the winning captain, do you think a pitch like that does favour the bowlers too much for one-day cricket? Big house, full house?
No, I don't think so. That we saw some great cricket in the World Cup and on similar sort of wickets to that with the ball doing a bit. I think it's a matter of the batsman adjusting and working a bit harder. It obviously favoured the bowlers, but most wickets favour the batsman, so you can't have it your way all the time. I thought it was a pretty good cricket wicket, maybe a little bit too much in it, but you've got to adjust your international players.
One of the other positives to come out, of course, Steve, is the fact that you can go and watch Australia taking on Wales in about an hour's time.
Yeah, we've timed it well. Yeah, 4 o'clock. The boys are keen to watch that game, but really good performance, and we're looking forward to playing well tomorrow.
Good luck, Steve.
Thanks, Dave.
Stephen Waugh, the Australian captain and the winning captain. Time now to find out who was the man of the match. A pretty even performance by the Australians, as you can guess. When you win the toss and bowl a side out for 116, then only lose one wicket in chasing the target. Mr. Don Arnott, the former Chief Executive Officer of the Zimbabwe Cricket Union has made that decision. Don, your thoughts?
David, I think it was definitely a day for Australian bowlers today. And for me, with an outstanding spell of 3 for 14 in 10 overs, I think it's Damien Fleming.
So the man of the match is Damien Fleming. So they came out all right.
Yeah, not too bad. I thought we bowled well, all the bowlers. We sort of roped them in and fielded well, backed them up in the field, and it was a good performance.
You bowled 7 overs, Damien. Any thoughts of bowling the 10 overs straight out by either yourself or Steve?
No, I was pretty stuffed by that stage, so I was happy to have a rest. But yeah, the boys backed it up well.
What about that sort of pitch? One you want to take with you around the world?
Yeah, it had a bit more pace than the test wicket, I thought, and it swung around a bit. So yeah, it'd be great to have it everywhere you go. But it was a great performance by everyone. So it's a good way to be, 2-0 up.
And I suppose the one thing in your favour, get the wickets early, then put the feet up.
Yeah, happy with that. It's always good to see that 10th wicket go. So yeah, the boys were pretty happy.
Damien, congratulations.
Cheers, Hooksy.
Well, from the presentation area, the man of the match, Damien Fleming, 10 overs, and he's hit 3 for 14 after Steve Waugh won the toss and elected to bowl. So the series, 2-0 up to Australia. The third and final match is here at the Harare Sports Club tomorrow morning. We'll look forward to your company at 9:30 for the first ball. The second one-day international between Australia and Zimbabwe saw Australia win the toss, elect to bowl on a good pitch for bowling, and Australia got rid of the danger man, Neil Johnson, for just 2. Adam Dale into the side because Glenn McGrath wanted a rest. He found the outside edge of Campbell's bat, and he continued his wretched form. Flower dragged one on, and Adam Dale is quite happy to be bowling early in the morning on a Saturday here in Harare. Damien Martin even had a bowl. He bowled wide, he bowled short. It didn't matter, they chased him. And Shane Warne takes a very good catch at short mid-wicket out of his customary first slip position. And the Australians continue to get wickets. Cricketing carnage occurred early on Saturday morning in Harare. Dubin, a very good player, and he was on his way. Fleming, the man of the match, with some scintillating new ball bowling and some equally as aggressive, dangerous bowling later in the innings. And Adam Gilchrist took another fine catch. Fleming again, and this time straight into the gully hands of Ponting. Another wicket for Fleming, another catch for Ponting. The Australians had them on the ropes. 98 for 9 in the 33rd over. Normally just 4 men inside the circle at this stage. But Steve Waugh pulled up the fine leg man to make it 9 men inside the circle, and all those 9 men were in the slips area. Adam Gilchrist had 9 mates for the first time in his life. And what could Damien Fleming do? He ran in, he bowled, and he could have done with another couple of slips. Andrew Symonds just finished the innings, and it finished 55 minutes before lunch. All out for 116. So the Australians had 45 minutes to bat before lunch. Gilchrist helped himself to a classical Gilchrist boundary. Short, and he pulled it over square leg. But the ball before lunch, Gilchrist hit Blicknott to Johnson at first slip, and Australia's first wicket went down. After lunch, Mark Waugh showed the skill that he possesses. He is now in very good form after a poor tour of Sri Lanka. He doesn't play as well on the offside as the leg side, but when he does cover drive and cover drive well, he gets his weight over the ball, his head is perfectly still, and he looks very good. The only bit of controversy for the Australian innings was this attempted run out of Ponting. No appeal by any Zimbabwe bowler or fieldsman. I just wonder what the umpire would have said. Quite clearly Ponting coming down, then he realised that Mutindira is just as quick, so he goes across his line on purpose, and I would have thought that any appeal would have seen Ponting out in the unusual manner of obstructing the field. It wasn't to be. Mark Waugh made Mutindira pay by just slapping him back over his head. One bounce into the sight screen for 6. And then the end of the innings, Ponting just leaned back and one bounce over mid-wicket. So Australia won the first game in Bulawayo on Thursday. They won the second on Saturday, and they're here for the third and final match at the Harare Sports Club. Hello and welcome to the Harare Sports Club for this third and final Ford one-day international between Australia and Zimbabwe. Australia has played beautifully in the last 2 games, winning the first one in Bulawayo last Thursday and comprehensively yesterday by 9 wickets. What a win for Australia yesterday. The World Cup champions are certainly on a roll, and they are looking forward to trying to win this series 3-0. The pitch, well, the toss was very important yesterday. The pitch really did suit the Australian fast bowlers. I wonder how it will suit the bowlers today. Let's go to the middle now with Andy Pycroft.
Thank you, David. The news from the middle is that we're playing on the very same wicket upon which the Zimbabwean batsman perished yesterday because of the extra bounce in the wicket and the grass. If we look at the grass cover on the wicket, we can see there's still substantial grass here. A little bit drier perhaps than yesterday. That's because the sun was beating down on it. It's obviously been rolled overnight. But I think the captain winning the toss is definitely going to bowl again. There are going to be difficulties for the side batting first.
This morning when they woke up, the forecast is 29 degrees with a lovely northeasterly breeze to keep it quite pleasant out in the middle, and no rain forecast. In the middle, the match referee, Gundapal Vishwanath from India. The 2 captains, Alistair Campbell with the coin, Steve Waugh again from Australia, will call.
Heads, thank you.
Steve Waugh calls heads. And it is a head. Steve decided to bowl a very good day yesterday.
Yeah, it was. We played really well. I thought we bowled excellently, and there's a little bit in the wicket, and I think as a team we don't mind chasing runs, so that's why we've opted to bowl again.
Yesterday you had the luxury of not bowling Shane Warne one delivery in a game where a side got bowled out.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, Warnie's done a lot of bowling, so if you give the opportunities to the other guys like Damien Martin, I thought did really well, so it's a chance to give some of the other guys a bit of a bowl as well.
9 slips?
Well, yeah, maybe that was overdoing it a bit, but the crowd was sort of looking for something to happen, and yeah, it was just a bit of fun, and sometimes you can do that in one-day cricket.
What about your side today? A chance to give Darren Lehman a game this tour?
Yeah, he's coming in for Mark Waugh, and Glenn McGrath comes back in for Damien Fleming, so good thing about our squad is we believe if we change the side, we're not going to weaken it.
And you'd like to win 3-0?
Yeah, of course. I mean, as I said before, winning's a habit. We've got a reputation now, and we're looking forward to playing well.
Good luck, Steve.
Thanks, Dave.
Australian captain Steve Waugh Alistair Campbell, a toss yesterday you would have liked to have won. Not quite so critical this morning?
No, I think it's still an advantage, obviously, to bowl first in this, but I don't think it'll move around quite as much as it did yesterday. So, hopefully we've learned from yesterday, and, we'll get in here today and know that it's going to go about a bit and maybe try and capitalise on their part-time bowlers, the guys that we didn't capitalise on yesterday as we should have. So, I think you're going to see us being a bit more circumspect early on against their renowned bowlers, or their recognised bowlers, and trying to take some advantage in the middle.
Have you made any changes today, Alistair?
Yeah, we got one change. Gavin Rennie's out for Gary Brent.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Alistair Campbell there, the Zimbabwe captain. Australian captain Steve Waugh winning the toss again here, and as yesterday he did, he elected to bowl. This morning, Australia will bowl.
There's the Zimbabwe team for today's third one-day international. Alistair Campbell, the captain, promoted himself to opening bat yesterday and is listed there again today. We'll see exactly what happens. Neil Johnson, Trevor Madondu, who looked quite good yesterday, Murray Goodwin, Andy Flower, the wicket-keeper, Grant Flower, Andy Blinknote, who made quite a contribution, tried hard with bat and ball. John Rennie, Gary Brent coming into the side, didn't play yesterday, Andy Whittle and David Mutindera. Gavin Rennie, the 12th man, missing out. Australia, 2 changes, as Steve Waugh said. Adam Gilchrist, Ricky Ponting, Steve Waugh, Michael Bevan, Damien Martin, Andrew Simons, Darren Lehman coming into the side, Tom Moody, Shane Ward, Adam Dale and Glenn McGrath, who rested yesterday. Missing out is Mark Waugh, and that is why Ricky Ponting will open the batting, and Damien Fleming not playing from yesterday's side.
Alistair Campbell, 113 one-day internationals, 16 50s and 300s, average of 28,4. Talented man, should be higher than that, I think. And he's going through a very difficult patch at the moment. Very difficult to lead the side when you're having a run of poor form. But he's a strong character, and I'm sure everyone on the ground here will be hoping that he'll make some runs today. But a very difficult task, daunting task for him and Neil Johnson. This man has been brought back, having rested yesterday, Glenn McGrath, and playing in his 101st one-day international. Look at that, 145 wickets. Wonderful strike rate, best of 5 for 14 against the West Indies. So it's going to be very interesting in the early stages, again, to see whether the ball moved around with the moisture and the grass and the extra bounce, Carl, as we saw yesterday.
Yes, there'll be all of that. Glenn McGrath about to start from the golf course end, or northern end. He'll be bowling two slips and a gully. Fieldsman there at point, one in the covers, backward square leg, and Stephen Waugh at mid-on, third man in a fine leg. McGrath to Campbell, first ball, and wonderful carry through to Adam Gilchrist.
Yes, there's the extra bounce again. Good line. McGrath bowls well to the left-handers, and Gilchrist takes that above the shoulder.
Alistair Campbell in fairly dodgy form at the moment, and under a lot of pressure. There's been criticism of his performances in the press, and in fact criticism of his position as captain of this side. That's down the leg side. Lucky not to be called wide there. It may have just flicked the pad on the way through.
Yes, I think you're right, Carl. I think didn't carry, didn't touch anything, but it dropped in front of Gilchrist, and well taken. Got down well. Second delivery of the day.
Watching Alistair Campbell bat, he doesn't really seem to be using his feet terribly much. He's hitting at the ball through the line of the ball. The length doesn't get a good look. That one came off the pad. But not much in the footwork department.
Yeah, strangle appeal here. Not taking a big step, Carl, and I think one of the differences between Neil Johnson, who's done so well recently, and Alistair Campbell, is that Neil Johnson takes a much bigger stride, and I also feel that Alistair Campbell is leaning over a little bit onto the offside when he's playing the ball off his pads, so that his eyes are at an angle.
And a no ball. Glenn McGrath just haunted by no balls a little at the moment. Bowled something like 15 in the first test here in Harare a week ago. And a few in Bulawayo on Thursday, and there's another one, and he's well over. Good distance over that batting crease.
Well, Alistair Campbell, since making 80 odd against the West Indies in Singapore 4 weeks ago, hasn't really made a run.
Call of wait and then yes. Alistair Campbell safely off the mark, got that ball just behind square leg off his hip.
And Johnson had to be sure here that the ball would get past Lehman just at square leg. Fortunately, it eluded, for the batsman, it eluded the fielder. Here he is, it went to his left, and the late call from Johnson. Neil Johnson, 30 one-day internationals, former Natal player, playing with the likes of Pollock, Klusner, Dale Benkenstein for some 6 or 7 years.
Beautifully bowled. Committing Johnson to the stroke, and just a bit of a way movement beat the bat.
Well, Johnson's done very well in the series so far. He really has been a find for Zimbabwe. Of course, Murray Goodwin also coming back, having been born in Zimbabwe from Western Australia. Attended the Australian Academy with Ponting. This man, Neil Johnson, look at that, 110, 2 and 0. But of course, he got that 132 not out against Australia at Lord's during the World Cup.
That's in the air, but through the vacant area between second slip Tom Moody and Ricky Ponting in the gully. Dale Fields just 1 run, and that is the end of the first over. So Zimbabwe 3 without loss. Now Adam Dale is going to start from the city end. And bang on target right from the start, Dale. Interesting field placement for Dale. Just the 1 slip.
Yes, I thought he bowled particularly well yesterday. Again, bang on line of the off stump. Military medium, but he swings the ball nicely.
Second catcher for Dale is a shortish mid-wicket position. You see that just at the left of your screen. That's Tom Moody wearing the white floppy hat. Appeal for LBW. Johnson well forward.
Well, I think we'll find that Johnson got a big stride in here. Coming back to the left-hander, hits him just below the roll. Big stride in, but I think that still would have been slanting down the leg side. Have a look at it for height. Well forward, hits him below the roll.
That gets a single to Johnson. Not convincing, a thick outside edge, but along the ground without worry. Ponting Fields.
Well, indication of the movement here. Once again, Johnson not finding the middle of the bat. Once again, good fielding from Ricky Ponting. Talked about his fielding yesterday, comparing him to Jonty Rhodes from South Africa.
For Alistair Campbell, that short mid-wicket reverts to a second slip. Tom Moody. Bowled Adam Dale. Australians comforted somewhat by having to bowl at 2 left-handed opening batsmen, so much easier for them to concentrate on the 1 line. That's in the air. He hit across the line. Didn't hit it too badly. It may not be 4, and in fact it's not. Good bit of fielding down there by the captain, Steve Waugh, and restricts that to 2 runs.
Well, I think Steve Waugh is going to be encouraged by the shot from Alistair Campbell. Played across the line, a lot of bottom hand. Look at that, pulled it away through mid-wicket on the bottom of the bat from outside the off stump, and an element of risk there.
huge element of risk. There's runs in the book. But that's about all you'd say. And there's another one, a single. So 4 runs off that over. Zimbabwe 7 for none. In a 4 slip position. That's a better shot. He hit through the line there. He'll get another 2 at least. Simons is chasing and he's very quick. And 2 runs to Campbell, but that was a better cricket stroke.
Well, I suppose we could describe this as a slash, angled bat, almost horizontal bat, but it was full pitched. Again, not getting his foot to the pitch of the ball, and really a bit like a tennis shot.
Pitched up there, Campbell hit straight back down the ground past McGrath, and that'll be 4 runs. So positive signals now from Campbell. He played that quite well and hit straight through the line of the ball.
Well, a much better shot from Alistair Campbell, just clipping that off his pads, not trying to hit it too hard, superbly timed, and it eventually ran all the way for 4. Kept his head still. So after 5 overs, Zimbabwe 16 without loss. Of course, they were 10 for 3 yesterday. So far going on a little better.
Adam Dale to Alistair Campbell. Campbell actually playing forward there. I suppose it's something we could overstate, but why I'm harping on it to a little is that I went to Zimbabwe's practice session one day last week, in the day before the Bulawayo one-day game, and I watched him bat in the nets, and there was absolutely no evidence of footwork there. And so if he's looking to hit his way into form and out of trouble, as that's gone high in the air. He was advancing down the pitch trying to hit Dale. It'll be a screamer of a catch if he takes it, and he wasn't able to. Well, that was a desperately difficult catch. Looks like Andrew Simons, he made a lot of ground to get there, but that was high. The ball was swirling and spinning.
Oh, this is a poor shot from Alistair Campbell. Again, playing across the line. Looks as though he got a leading edge or an outside edge and just spooned out very, very high. And running backwards, the attempt was spilled. Andrew Simons was the man with a gallant dive. Always very difficult trying to take the catch running backwards over your shoulder.
And runs off the last ball of the over. Well played down the ground through mid-off. It was pitched up. Johnson didn't try to hit it hard. Just made sure of it nicely off the middle of the bat. 2 runs, and that's 2 from the over. 20 without loss, Zimbabwe.
Flicked away nicely, and no fine leg. Fine leg is up at a catching man. There is a backward square leg, and very dangerous field placing with a medium pace in swinger to a left-hander to have your fine leg not on the fence.
Dale has paid the penalty here, just drifting at leg side, and that big gap between a pretty squarish square leg, a pretty square man at square leg, and this has gone straight through to the boundary for 4 runs.
And first slips out. So a very good catch by Shane Warne. He's got a lovely pair of hands, Shane Warne. Australia's been blessed with great first slips fieldsmen. Shane Warne is certainly very good. And for the second consecutive day, Johnson goes early.
Good delivery from McGrath, just the one that just nips away from the left-handed batsman, and that sees his departure. Johnson, left-handed man who made 110 in the first innings. Neil Johnson there, caught Shane Warne, bowled McGrath for 5. Zimbabwe 24 for 1.
Trevor Madondo comes to the crease in just his 4th match. 29 yesterday to be top scorer. He comes there because Johnson just fended. And again, that's that lovely McGrath ability to bowl the length outside the off stump, bowling around the wicket. Campbell continuing his aggressive approach to this morning's batting. Puts Madondo on strike.
See the wicket again, McGrath. Just getting that one to leave the left-hander Johnson, and just fends it off his shoulder there, off this offside, and straight to Shane Warne. Really well taken catch. So got a safe pair of hands as Warne, and that saw the departure of Johnson for 5.
Lovely placement. As soon as he hit the ball, he said yes, so he knew that it was going in front of the stumps. It may in fact go to the fence. What a shot. What a way to get off the mark. 27 balls yesterday. He gets off the mark with a boundary off his 4th delivery today, and a very confident shot.
So Trevor Madondo took him 38 minutes to get off the mark yesterday, and here playing off the back foot. Beautiful shot, times it magnificently and hits it through covers, races away to the boundary. Look at that, lovely jumps, gets onto his toes and plays it beautifully through to the cover boundary, and he moves on to 4.
Bit more of a fight for the Australians today. It's 29 for 1. Be assured that there's minimal time to make the adjustment, to readjust. Just because it comes down towards the line of leg stump doesn't mean it's going to keep going that way with McGrath. And bowled. No footwork, and Alistair Campbell will rue the fact that he didn't play an aggressive shot. He'd been aggressive from the start of his innings, and he just got himself tangled up. Half cross bat shot, the bat on a 45-degree angle, and just went nowhere with his feet, and then let the ball in fact hit the bat, and then it just cannoned into the stumps.
Alistair Campbell here just hanging his bat out. We see the angle of the bat, and that ball just ricochets off the inside edge of the bat straight onto middle stump, and that sees him very disappointed. So Alistair Campbell bowled McGrath for 18 and Zimbabwe 29 for 2. So Andy Flower, his 121st match, and look at that record, 31 50s, 100, and an average there of 32.8. So, and he's there because of the demise of Alistair Campbell, just getting an inside edge onto middle stump, and McGrath, the happy man, he takes his 2nd wicket.
Three slips in place for Flower, who comes to the crease because Campbell just stayed in his stance position. No footwork at all by Alistair Campbell on that occasion. And he will be disappointed that at least he didn't thrash the bat at us like he had been all morning. Just the 45-degree angled bat, always a recipe for disaster.
Damien Fleming sitting there with some ice on his knee. He bowled particularly well yesterday, picking up 3 wickets for 14 runs in his 10-over spell. And he's obviously got a problem with his knee with a little bit of ice.
Damien Fleming and Mark Waugh. Consecutive Man of the Match awards for those two, and they are sitting in the seats watching today. So strong is the Australian squad here in Zimbabwe. And chance to run it if he hits, and misses. Michael Bevan is very quick, and it's a dangerous man to attempt a single to. Bevan just underarmed it in, but missed the stumps.
Madondo just pushing it into the covers and runs, and he just gives up any hope of getting in here. Bevan misses by quite a long way in the end, but certainly had that hit the stumps, Madondo would have been out by a good couple of meters. Just absolutely not even trying to slide his bat in. He knew he was a long way out.
Just the 2 bowlers used so far. Dale continuing for his 7th over. Nice shot. Past Ponting to give Ponting a bit of work to do. Darren Lehman coming around to lend support, and neither will get there. So nice timing. The medium pace of Dale just a fraction too wide on that occasion. So a nice boundary.
Andy Flower's favourite shot, just hitting it backward of point and full blade of the bat onto it, and it races away to the backward of point boundary. Ricky Ponting gives chase, no chance to cut it off, and Flower moves on to 5.
Oh, and that's an easy dismissal. Madondo gets the edge through to Gilchrist. So disappointment for the young Zimbabwean. Trevor Madondo leaves the scene for 6. Zimbabwe 38 for 2.
That's a nothing shot. Moody's bowled it with width, but there's a little bit of slowerness in the pace, and Madondo's just wafted just a little edge, and it's gone straight through to Gilchrist. So Trevor Madondo caught behind for 6, Zimbabwe 38 for 3.
Catch World Cup fever on Fox Sports.
He's gone through Healy as well. It's Bantu. Tongan celebrates. And Albanese is there.
World Cup fever. Unforgettable moments from this and past World Cups. 11 tonight on Fox Sports.
The big deal from the big brand names. Harvey Norman, IBM, Intel Pentium 3. An IBM computer with Intel Pentium 3 power, just $24.99. Powered by the Intel Pentium 3 500 MHz processor, including the Intel Pentium 3 exclusive web outfitter service. The IBM Aptiva 71A computer with an Intel Pentium 3 500 MHz processor for just $24.99. That's right, $24.99.
Buckle up. Showtime's going to take an unexpected turn. Black Dog, coming soon to Showtime. This weekend on Fox Sports, hang on tight as the 125s, the 250s and the 500s tear up the track in the final Grand Prix of the year from Buenos Aires live. The top 30 players of the US PGA money list tee off for the season-ending Tour Championship. Live and exclusive. Coventry take on Watford in the English Premier League, plus the pick of the Saturday games. Exclusively live. And it's crunch time in the Rugby World Cup with full match coverage of both semi-finals. This weekend on Fox Sports.
Grant Flower will come to the wicket, face the bowling of Tom Moody after the dismissal of Trevor Madondo, playing a wafted cut shot off the bowling of Moody. Gilchrist takes him behind the wicket, and that means that 3 wickets have fallen from the golf course end for no runs in the last 4 overs.
Well, this is the way that Madondo went, trying to cut outside the off stump. The extra bounce doing him, and a regulation catch for Gilchrist behind the stumps.
What a delivery to get first up. Tom Moody looks more innocuous than some of his contemporaries, but that was incredible bounce.
This is a real beauty. Oh, so easily could have got touch off the gloves. Grant Flower doing well just to evade that one.
There's no way that you can say that's handy in a one-day international to have bounce like that. Grant Flower did very well not to get an edge.
Well, 66 dismissals in one-day internationals in 99, the most by a keeper in the last year. Of course, doesn't keep in the test matches. That position is held by the great Ian Healy.
Well, there's the Zimbabwe scorecard, not looking good once again. Most of the damage having been done from the bowlers bowling from the golf course end. Here we have a quick call from Grant Flower. Will Andy Flower make his ground? I don't think he realised that there was a shy, but the backing up fielder has missed it. It's going to go for 4 overthrows, so Grant Flower will be most happy to get 5 out of that.
Well, Gilchrist did very well to take off his glove and shy at the bowler's end. And I think we'll find that the throw coming in from Gilchrist as he has to move to his left. Throws, he would have been out if that had hit, but it evaded the man backing up as well and went for 4 overthrows. So Adam Dale, it was, who couldn't stop that.
here, the in-swinger, and he's overcompensated with the result that Grant Flower's been able to get it very fine. Beautifully fielded by Lehman, and the batsman will decide not to go through for three. They will, though, now, because he's hit the stumps direct, and it's ricocheted off too far from Gilchrist to prevent.
Well, I think if we take a look at the replay of that, you'll find that Lehman was actually, his foot was over the boundary while he was still touching the ball. And they have called for the third umpire. Can't really see it from that angle. He's still got the ball in his hand and his foot is over. That's a better angle. He's over now and he's got the ball in his hand. That's 4 runs.
Yes, I think the third umpire's correctly adjudged that it was actually 4. So, bit of action there. Not sure at one stage whether it was 2, 3 or 4. And Lehman just standing on the ropes as he made contact with the ball. Of course, that means the ball's gone for 4. This one coming back at Andy Flower. They'll call for an LBW or maybe even glove in it if it carried to Gilchrist. Andy Flower doesn't look as though he's bothered by the appeal.
Well, I'll have another look at this. Did it come off the top of the pad? Yes, it did. So a good decision by umpire Russell Tiffin. Take a look there. It hit the top of the pad. I think the Australians thought that came off the gloves.
And from an LBW decision point of view, it's just flicked the pad outside off. It couldn't have been out.
President, Honourable Comrade Robert Mugabe.
That's a great shot by Andy Flower. He's picked up the first short ball that Tom Moody has bowled and really spanked it. Not known as a big puller of the ball, Andy Flower.
This is banged in short by Tom Moody and pulled away from outside the off stump with a full flourish of the bat by Andy Flower. Fine shot. Just got the time to pick that up. It was far too short.
Just 1 run through the covers to Andy Flower. Played into the gap, but didn't really time it.
Lovely shot here, but Steve Orr manages to just parry it down a little bit, and that causes them to only be able to take the single.
Well, that's aggression for you. Grant Flower coming down the track to Andy Simons and found the ball a little wide of him when he got there and played square of the wicket high over the cover point fieldsman, right off the meat of the bat, and a very good boundary.
Yeah, one of Grant Flower's favourite aggression shots, just coming down the wicket to it, opening the face and just hitting it over extra cover for 4 runs.
Tom Moody bowling round the wicket to Andy Flower now. And a quick single taken. Good running by Grant Flower. Andy Flower just dropping that at his feet on the offside, and Grant Flower ready to take a quick single, and it was safely done.
Well played by Andy Flower there, but immediately Grant calls for the single. Just heard that shout in the background of "Run, Andrew," and away through. They ran very quickly. So this is good running and just keeping the scoreboard ticking over, and does frustrate the opposition bowler.
Grant Flower again dancing down the wicket as he did to Andrew Simons. This time the bowler is Moody. Didn't quite hit it as well or as square, but it's another boundary. So Grant Flower deciding that he's well enough set to start and accelerate.
Once again, a good aggressive shot, just getting down the wicket to it and giving it the full face of the bat. As mentioned, not quite middling it as well as he did the previous delivery.
And that was just run down to third man. Shot we see Mark Waugh particularly play a lot in the Australian batting order.
Just angling the bat for the single. Moves Grant Flower onto 17. His brother Andrew onto 22. Zimbabwe 75 for 3. A lovely day here at Harare Sports Club. Fielders spreading the field a little bit wider on the offside.
Another single. Fieldsman dropped deep now. Steve Waugh had maintained a very tight fielding circle, particularly on the offside, but now employing sweepers on both sides of the wicket and the fine leg and the third man. And that leaves some bigger gaps. However, this time, much as the Zimbabweans had hoped to achieve 2, it was restricted to a single. Very quick work by Ponting.
The beauty about Grant and Andy Flowers running between the wickets is their quick calling. They know, obviously, have played a lot of cricket together, but they call immediately, and that is the key to getting through for quick singles.
And another one. It's a very good over for Zimbabwe, and it's getting better by the minute. Overthrows. They'll get 2 overthrows. That finished up an over worth 10 runs. A very good run for Zimbabwe. 79 for 3. That's short and pulled, and that will be out. Caught. Damien Martin at mid-on. Simons dropping that in short of Flower. Went to play the pull shot. It came on to him quickly, and the bounce beat him. It hit high on the bat, and a fairly easy catch accepted by Damien Martin.
So Grant Flower trying to hit that from outside of off stump. Just rushed him a little for the shot, and just goes skyward. Damien Martin running around, taking a relatively simple catch, and sees Grant Flower's departure. So Grant Flower caught Damien Martin, bowled Simon.